Happy Home Brew Wednesday, folks. Ryan here. Thought I'd just try out the PSA IPA 2013 edition today. I have used these cold activated caps, which is starting to get warm, so it's not working so well. Anyway, the part around the beer bottle is supposed to be blue, and then at the bottom it says ready to drink. But you can't really see that with the camera. It's starting to get too light. So we better get it poured before it's too warm to drink. Let's see if we can get a little fizz here. It's good sound. Good sound. It's only been bottled for a week and a half, and of course I put it in yesterday, so just under a week and a half. So let's go ahead and pour it. Maybe a little more bigger. I already had another beer in here, so that's why the glass isn't still has foam on it. Alright. Check that out. It's a little dark. So still kind of amberish golden color, but a little dark. Oh. It was just getting better and better. It was really good. Last weekend when I tried some, the hop flavors already starting to get mild out a little bit. There's a lot we want to get in the fridge as quick as possible and drink, but it's really good. Let's see, what kind of hops does this have? It has a little bit of aroma, not too much. So this had Simcoe, 1 ounce Simcoe, 2 ounce of Palisade, and 1 ounce of Anonym. So I've used 2 of those before. This was the first time I used Palisade, I believe. But that's really good. Oh man. Ooh. It's a good IPA. So I've added a couple things to the Power Hour Brew Crew website. Not that anyone goes there, but I put a BrewTubers link on here. What this does, this takes a feed of, mostly it's the BrewTube people that I watch, but if people submit requests to add more, I can. So we have Craig Tube, myself. I don't actually watch myself, but it seemed kind of silly not to have myself on there. SJ Poor and B Meyer 44. Also, I have I don't know if any of you are on Twitter, but there's a Homebrew Finds account on there where they are always putting up good deals on things. Well, they always link you to their website, and their website has a feed, so I put that feed on here too. This is not a live feed. It has to regenerate every 3 hours. So if Craig or if SJ Poor puts up something, it could be up to 3 hours before it shows up on here. I might lower that down to an hour. That's about the best I can do. That's kind of the limit of how often Drupal can run its cron process. But yeah, that's kind of neat. For those of you who don't know, the Brew Crew, Power Hour Brew Crew website, it's a place where I put recipes that I've made. These aren't necessarily recipes that I've created, but they're recipes that I've brewed. And, anyone can come and sign up for the site and use it and add recipes. I like to keep an archive of the stuff I've made just because sometimes these brewers may just not, they may discontinue a recipe. For example, I think I should have one on here. Brewer's Best had discontinued the black lager, so you can't get those kits anymore, so you have to find the recipe, which, here we go, which the times that I found the recipe online, it never actually says what the hops are. It would just say bittering hops, aroma hops. So you'd have to really dig to find it. And I figured if I just put their PDF on here and save it, if they ever discontinue, again, another thing, maybe another recipe I make, I can always refer back and have my local homebrew shop put together. And some people, they live in, outside the United States to where ordering from Northern Brewer really is not an option for them. So coming here, it's a fairly easy kit to put together as well. I also, when I'm signed in, which I don't have anything everything's bottle conditioning right now, so I don't have much on my calendar, but I have a calendar where it tells me what's ready to drink. Now there's a little bug where if you have something, each brew has 4 events, and those events are the day you brewed it, the day you need to move to secondary, the day you bottle it, and the day you can drink it. I think maybe the day you bottle it's in there, or brewed it's in there too. But if you have an event that's in the previous month that was part of that, it always shows up in the first week. It's the full week, and I don't really know how to fix that yet. But as long as I keep that in mind, it's not a big deal. We can see Tuesday, April 1st, something was done with the cream ale. We can just click on that, and we can look at the event, which is could be a little difficult because I didn't give myself enough room here. Let's see if we can... Oh, so Tuesday, April 1st was the bottling day for that. And so Tuesday, April 15th, which was yesterday, was when was the optimal time to start drinking. And, that's just based on what the recipe says of bottle condition for 2 weeks. I obviously opened it sooner, and that's a good beer too. The cream ale is excellent. That is definitely one where 1 week in the bottle, you're probably okay. But I even and I always try to upload the PDFs. If let's say you have a brand new recipe and you don't have a PDF maker, just go ahead and just go, okay, I have a recipe, give it a name, but you can actually go in and put in everything. So there's some notes. You can put what specialty grains and keep adding grains to it. So, black malt, 25 grams, or we don't really put things in grams down here in the U.S., but you go add another item and you just keep adding it. Fermentables, so this would be like your extracts and your actual grains. I think if you did an all grain, you put everything in the specialty grains, I don't think anyone would get too upset. I think they'd figure it out. But your hops, your recommended yeasts, because like Northern Brewer usually has a couple yeasts that they recommend, a dry yeast and maybe the White Labs version and the white yeast version. You can even link to the recipe if it's on someone else's site, or just upload the file, which to me that seems the best way. You get the original content. And if any of these people who, if they complain that I have a recipe of theirs on my site, I'll take it down. I don't have a problem doing that. There's a right of, people's property, you know what I mean? Intellectual property, whatever, I understand. There's also, I put some recipes, authors in here. I'm not sure if I granted access to let anyone add a recipe author. I can do that if need be. And I keep revisions, so if you add to your recipe and then go back and change it later, as long as you have revisions set turned on, you can always go back if you screwed up or something, as well as commenting's turned on. So that's how that all works. I've talked about the site before. It works. It's a functional site. I'm going to redo my homepage in Drupal at some point, I think. Just because it can do a lot more than what my current site can. Mostly being able to pull those feeds in is really nice. Because you can always go to YouTube and try to figure out, okay, which of my homebrew friends posted their videos this week? Well, YouTube has numbers next to their name, so I think they did it, or it doesn't have a number, but so I think they didn't, and then I go look and they actually did. And then a bonus is if you use this site and I go in and I realize that the feed is outdated, I'm going to run it. I can run it manually too, as well as the automatic every few hours, which I think I will end up putting that down to an hour, so it's not too long. I can run it manually, and then if you happen to show up after I do, you will see the updated list. If somebody happened to, geez, I got like hair sticking out right there. I need a haircut, I think. And I always wanted a little longer hair, so I'm trying that out. I'm gonna look weird. I'm gonna get some longer hair like Craig. I'm not quite there. I'm just all poofed out. So once the bangs start getting in the way of my head here, my eyes, maybe that's I'll probably cut things in. I don't know. So I'm still just playing. Or if it gets too hot out, if I start sweating because it's too hot, then I'll probably get it all chopped off. But what do I have in the pipeline? Well, let's see. I have the PSA IPA, which has been bottled, obviously. The Caribou Slobbers drinking. Oatmeal Stout I've been drinking for a few weeks. Cream Ale I've been drinking. I have nothing fermenting. Nothing. I think this weekend, some point, I may brew the White House Honey Ale. I think I've shown off that before. I brewed it last year. I think I've talked about the recipe. Shown what was in it. I have to go back and look. I don't want to repeat content too much. I also have a Cooper's Dark Ale. I kind of want to do just straight what they intended, but at the same time, it's like I kind of want to improve it. But I've never had Cooper's. I've only had a Cooper's kit once before, so I just want to try a different one, and then maybe try a couple, and then go, okay, well, how can we improve this? Craig's talked about them a lot and done those. So I probably won't do too many videos on those just because we have the master on YouTube who, he knows how to make them better. He knows what's good. But, so I may just do the Dark Ale straight. And then get the motivation to try to bottle in 50 bottles because it has the carbonation drops and I just want to use them. And hopefully they don't explode. Well, I don't think they will. They'll probably be fine in the one bottle. I don't want to go out and buy plastic bottles. If I could get the plastic bottles cheap and not spend $40 for them, which after shipping probably like $50, I would totally use them. But I also don't want to waste the bottles. I don't know how easy they are to clean because you can't put a brush in there and scrub them out. So I don't know. I'll probably just use the glass bottles and hope they don't explode. And I'm sure many people have used the carbonation tabs and not had their bottles explode. So, that's all I have for you. As always, have a happy Home Brew Wednesday. Keep your glass full. I'm going to have to go get a little more beer soon. Hopefully I'll see you next week. Cheers.